nice. Now I'm breastfeeding. They look like a couple of fried eggs on a non-stick skillet. If they offer me a particular amount, I'll ask for a little bit more just to see if it exists.
Hey, recently did that, and it worked.
Yeah, it keeps working.
You deserve to make 70 cents on the dollar. Has been happening is comedians getting death threats. I've had it.
I'm the new young hot chick at the Parkinson's boxing class. And I said no, and he's like, come on, Steph, it's not like I'm asking you to fuck me.
I've never experienced domestic abuse. It was always imported. I don't want people to think I'm getting it because I'm a girl or because I'm a minority.
We're palsy bearers. We take our job very seriously. And women, we're very aware of our mistakes. We actually need ego boosting in a lot of ways.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Of the Comics. Please put your hands together for Janae Burris!
Whoa, y'all are good at that. Woo! Appreciate that. I'm Janae Burris. I'm your host and MC for this evening. We've got a fantastic lineup, so I hope you're excited to see all of these comics. They told me over 40, the window to have a baby was closed, so obviously the legs were open. All right. I was out in them streets having a good time. I was partying. Pretty sure I got pregnant while me and my baby daddy were, let's call it, we were on a group date. You know what I'm saying? I really thought at this point, at my age, that I was hoping to be a lesbian at this point. I thought I had real potential. I played JV basketball. I had real potential to become a lesbian, but it's not as easy as you think. A lot of people think it's a choice. I tried to choose it, but it did not choose me back. Unfortunately, I really wanted to do that. I tried to be with a woman. Shout out to anybody who's doing the thing, anybody who eats pussy, anyone. Shout out to you. You are kings and queens of this universe because I tried, and boy, it takes a certain palate for that. I got about this close. I got like Tom Cruise Mission Impossible close to eating. I was so close. Couldn't do it. So shout out to you for doing that. I really wanted it too. In my heart, I wanted to be there. My aunt came out as lesbian when she was 45 years old. She was 45. Good for her. She had already been married for 20 years. She had 5 kids. She got a girlfriend. Her credit score shot up 120 points. That's what I want for my life. Why can't I have that? So I had a baby in my 40s, which is ridiculous. It's having a baby at 41 years old, that's the M. Night Shyamalan plot twist of my life. I did not see this coming. My friend keeps saying, Janae, stop telling people your age. You don't have to tell people you're in your 40s. You could pass for a lot younger. I was like, bitch, I'm telling people I'm 56, okay? I was told I'd lose weight if I breastfed. That's bullshit. How much longer am I breastfeeding? I don't know, another 30 pounds. This kid might be drinking breast milk at his prom. I don't know. I was told I could lose weight. How Now, Brown Cow? Actually a poem about me. A lot of people don't know that. But I used to have little tiny titties, little handfuls of nice titties way up to my chin like 2 angry black power fists. They were way up there. They were nice. They were nice. Now I'm breastfeeding. They look like a couple of fried eggs on a non-stick skillet. 3-egg omelet just floating around. I get seasick when I look at them now. They're terrible. My nipples used to be like Hershey's Kisses. Go ahead, imagine it. They were perfect. Please, take your time. Now they look like Cookie Monster eyes. It's embarrassing. Thank you so much. That's my time. You ready for the rest of the show? Woo! Let's do it. We got a hell of a lineup, y'all. So lucky. We are so lucky for these folks. Your next comic is a Denver legend. Give it up for Stephanie McHugh.
Thank you so much. Keep it going for Janae right there, right? Cougar, not the animal, the woman, right? You know how there's a mathematical way you get to it. You take a woman's age, divide it by 2, add 7. If she dates anyone younger than that, then she's considered a cougar. So I can't date anyone younger than 35. And if I want a sugar daddy, he's 106. And he's out there. I also, like old people, I go on Match.com to find someone. But if you say you're a stand-up comic, that freaks guys out. So I just generalized it and said I was in the entertainment business. I know. They loved it. I was doing lap dances 3 times a week at Starbucks. And my dad has Parkinson's and a little bit of dementia, and I feel blessed that I live close, that I can help out. And I take him to his activities. He has a Parkinson's boxing class. It helps with the stability and the shakiness. And he can bring a buddy, so I take the class with him. And at the end of the class, someone came up to my dad and said, "Jim, thanks for bringing the eye candy to the class today." You guys, I'm the new young hot chick at the Parkinson's boxing class. And because they have dementia, I'm the new young hot chick every time. You guys have been a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie McHugh. Y'all are killing it as an audience. I like this. Keep that energy going for the very funny Miriam Moreno.
Oh, hello. Let's see. I'll just get this out of the way. I've never experienced domestic abuse. It was always imported. Yeah. Because I myself am an import. Oh no, get it out of here. It being me. It's true, I'm not from here. I'm from a little town called Mexico. You guys may have heard of it. Yeah, it's up north. I don't know. And not to sound like a Mexican hipster, but my dad was murdered by a cartel before it was cool, so you guys can laugh at that. My dad laughs at that all the time, so yeah. From his grave where he's dead. Super dead. Rips. Growing up with a single mom, I always thought I'd be a single mom, right? Because you guys remember in that last joke. My grandpa was also murdered, and then my other grandpa had skin cancer, but then he shot himself, so he beat skin cancer. It's Mexican healthcare. It's a lot of agave and bullets, so a lot of home remedies. Growing up with a single mom, she was a bit of a hoe, which is fine. Hoe is life. She's just trying to find her kids a dad. It's a humble mission. And my sister and I picked up a lot of bad dating tips and tricks from her. Like my sister did this weird thing you guys might know, where you date a white boy and he punches a hole in the wall and you don't get your rent deposit back. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know Kyle. My white was a Trevor. They just assign you one when you move to Cap Hill, so they were... Let's see. Growing up with a single mom, she was a super tough lady, like so strong she would let us jump rope with her fallopian tubes. You know the type that'll just whip them out like a skip it. And when I graduated high school, I wanted to go to art school, and she got so mad. She was just like, "I did not sneak into this fucking country for your finger paint for a living." Like, that's fair, Mom. And then I started working at an abortion clinic, and I don't know what she hated more, right? Yeah, should have just let me paint my feelings. That's right. I did. I worked at the old abortion. It's an industry term. It'll catch on. And you know, these ladies are just trying to come in, have a good time, go home. But sometimes the protesters would yell crazy stuff at us. You know, people that work there, like something they say is like, oh, you know, the fetus can feel pain. It's like, I don't remember being a fetus and I don't remember feeling pain, but my mom was high throughout the whole pregnancy. So it really cushioned it for me. Or like, oh, you know, fetuses hate being aborted. It's like, I've been alive for 30 years and I've hated every fucking minute of it, so. Just wish I had a choice. People always ask me, like, how did you get into abortion care? That's so weird. Just like any other kid, I loved abortions when I was little. Wanted to be one. Just like some kids going to plumbing, right? Yeah. That's not the weirdest job I've had. I've actually worked at a Sport Clips. Have you guys heard of these institutions? Yeah. I got to wear a cool referee jersey and sweep up hair. And we had this haircut special. It was called the MVP Triple Play. And you guys might know it. And what it was a face steam towel, a haircut, and what I was told was not a hand job, so stop doing that, Miriam. At my newest job, we just had a sexual harassment training at work. And the maintenance guy, Tim, he thought it was important to speak up, so he did. He was just like, man, you can't say anything anymore. You can't say anything to broads anymore, because that's crossing the line. I was like, a couple things, Tim. You can't call us broads anymore. And the other day, you did say, cool shirt, your tits look amazing. You could have just said your tits look amazing. You didn't have to lie about the shirt. Okay, thank you so much. Give it up for your host.
Miriam Moreno for all your abortion needs. Very funny. Give it up for Christie Buchele.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here, you guys. I did my laundry for this. Thank you. Yes, big day. I recently realized I was too horny. Excuse me, I don't even like to use that word, horny. Ugh, yuck. I like to call it nighttime Buchele, coming out. And realized I was getting too horny because I was sitting at home and I was smoking weed and I was watching Bob Ross, Joy of Painting, and Bob was painting a winter landscape, but I was getting hot, you know what I mean? Because his brushwork is amazing. It sucks you in, you know what I mean? It's like, it starts out, it's like, shh, 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 shh. You're like, yeah, okay, yep, all right. I wish that canvas was my clit, you guys. That's what I'm trying to say. I wish the canvas. If you're into clits, pay attention to Bob. He's running a fucking workshop every 25 minutes. Perfect instructions. He's like, barely touch it. Very light, very short, very light strokes. It's already wet. And you're like, yeah, it is, Bob. Yeah, it is, Bob. That is a happy bush. That is a happy bush. Do you want to encourage people that if you're alive, plan your funerals. Just it's your last party. Let's make it good. You know, make some plans for yourself. I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon, but I want it to be good. So you can steal some of my plans if you'd like. For instance, at my funeral, I would like costume changes. For me, the corpse. I'm a fancy. This last one's real. I talk about my disability on stage. It helps people think about how they perceive people with disabilities, so I like to celebrate that at my funeral. So I've decided recently that since I have cerebral palsy, I would like it if at my funeral my pallbearers also had cerebral palsy. You know, just dragging the box to the hole, you know? If you got a bad hand, you better be using it. You know, I just want that casket just banging on the pews on the way down. Watch your fingers, everybody. Pulling a rodeo going through this church, you know? We're going to get handicapped parking for the cemetery. We're going to have 3 feet to take the box. Let's take 7 hours to get it there. Absolutely. Struggle, gentlemen. Say, ow, ham it up, you know? After a few hours, I hope the other guests are like, do you guys need help? And they're going to be like, how dare you? We're palsy bearers. We take our job very seriously. And then the casket's going to start bucking and rolling and the doors are going to pop open. My arms are going to fling out. They're going to drop it. That's what I want, you guys. Big finish, tuck and roll. I'm disabled. Falling down was always my best bit alive. Let's do it one more time in death. You know what I mean? And as my body tucks and rolls down a hillside or a staircase, if it's available, looking for plots, I would just like all my friends and family to gasp in horror at my lifeless body at the bottom of that hill. Just like, oh my God. Is that a different dress? Holy shit. She is fancy. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of the show. I'll be back for the panel.
Hi, Christie Buchele. Fantastic. You're such a lovely audience. Everybody got their drinks. Everybody feeling good? You ready for your headliner? Yes? Keep the energy going from all the way from New York. Give it up for Jocelyn, Chia.
Thank you, thank you. One more time for Janae and all the other comics you've seen so far. I'm from Singapore. I came to America for college. And the first thing I learned was that y'all can't tell Asians apart. I learned this because back in college, when I went to the bars with my Asian friends, we could all get in with one ID. We used my dad's ID. Right, my first American boyfriend was a white guy. My mom didn't like he was a white guy, but he went to Harvard, so she was like, oh, okay, he's Asian adjacent. And the first time we hooked up was so weird because he kept asking me questions in bed, like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? I was like, Anthony Chia, Anthony Chia. And then my American friends had explained to me, oh my God, Jocelyn, you're so silly. The answer is supposed to be it's him. I was like, oh, you guys are fucked up. But the next time we hooked up, I was prepared. And I'm a straight A student. When I know the answer, I'm eager to give it. So before he could ask me the question, I answered him. I said, you're the father. You're the father. And ladies, all right, who likes being dominated in bed, huh? You look like you like it, right? Yeah, you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it. You like it when a guy yanks your hair, spanks your ass. Oh, yeah, telling you nasty shit like you deserve to make 70 cents on the dollar. Who makes a dollar? Who makes a dollar? I am seeing someone right now. It's been 3 months, but we still haven't slept together because I want to do it right this time. You know, I'm going to wait until I'm officially his girlfriend and he's officially 18. And I'm 50. Yep, this is 50 in Asia. Suck it, white people. My sexual pet peeve with him is that he's always trying to let him pull out. He's always, oh, come on, man, let me pull out. I got good pull out game, you know. I'm like, all right, I'll trust you to stop having fun in the nick of time. If you trust me with your credit card at Gucci. Oh yeah, I'll be at Gucci putting your credit card into the machine. Don't worry, just a chip. He was away on business for a couple of weeks, and I sent him a message saying, I miss you. Let me ask you this. When your significant other says, I miss you, what do you say back in return? I miss you too. Yeah, thank you, normal people. I send this guy, and I miss you. He sends me back, thumbs up. I was like, what are we going to do if I said, I love you, huh? Fist bump? But he did send me a sext while he was away. He's like, hey, babe, when I come back, I'm going to fuck you. And I'm going to make you come. So I sent him fingers crossed. You guys have been a delight. I'm Jocelyn, Chia. Thank you so much.
One more time for Jocelyn, Chia. All right, thank you. That was the first half of our show. You did a fantastic job. Applause for our comedians. So the second half of our show is a lovely roundtable with our comedians, and we'd love it if you return. Folks at home, take a break for a second. You're going to hear some cool stuff. The Infinite Monkey Theorem is a women-owned and operated award-winning winery located in the Rhino Arts District of Denver and pioneered the canned wine trend. When you're in Denver, enjoy a delicious beverage from this Colorado-based winery.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to Of the Comics!
Thank you so much. But thanks for coming back for the second half of the show. Thanks for joining us, folks at home, for the second half of the show. We've got some fantastic comics up here with a lot of experience in comedy, different levels of experience. So, I actually want to start with asking you all, I love women in comedy. I love supporting women. Tell me what's something, an actionable thing that we can do to support women in comedy.
Book them.
Book them. Book women. When you're hiring, think about hiring a woman. Sometimes people don't even think about it. It doesn't cross their mind,
Right.
to hire a woman.
Well, definitely coming out to the show. So a lot of bookers will say, oh, female comedians sell out a lot less seats than the male comedians, and therefore they don't really want to put female comedians because they don't put butts in the seat. So if people came out to actually support more women comedy, then bookers wouldn't be disinclined to book female comedians.
Yeah. If all the women were selling as many tickets, absolutely, it would be all women headliners, but they're not. And so that's the number one thing you can do is go put your money where your mouth is as far as wanting to support them.
You could follow them on social media, and then you find out where they're performing too.
Right.
If you want to follow.
Think ahead. Find out where they're going to be.
Right.
Yeah. I think also what folks don't know is how much social media has an impact on your bookings. It is not. It's not a meritocracy. It's not about your level of talent always. It is hopefully that you have the talent to be on stage, but you need to have the social media following. I personally think there has to be room for shitty women too. Like, this expectation that we all have to excel is ridiculous. Not every man you see is great and they still get to work. I think there's room for shitty women as well.
Well, all men that you think are super great were also very shitty at one point. You can't get to that level without first being bad at it. I also think that just in coaching, like psychology in general, that men tend to need ego busting in order when they're coached or given feedback. Women, we're very aware of our mistakes. We actually need ego boosting in a lot of ways. And because a lot of the gatekeepers in comedy are males, they talk to women like they have been coached. So they're just constantly just telling them what they suck at. And it just is not a good way of actually building women up to be better at something. And so tell them what they did good, even if maybe one of their jokes was bad. They know. They got it.
Yeah.
That's all they'll think about tonight.
That's all you think about.
You don't have to be like, sweetie, I know that one went really bad, but keep it up. Don't do that. Shut up. We know.
Oh, come on, be like, oh, well, I liked it.
Yeah.
So the title of this episode is actually 70 cents on the dollar. We had a few ideas floating out there, and together we kind of said, okay, 70 cents on the dollar. Can we talk about that title and what it means specifically in our industry? Maybe I could start with Jocelyn. Can you talk about just money and earning money in this industry, and how women are able to earn money? What's the difference between our earnings based on our gender?
Well, for comedy, more or less at the comedy clubs, it's going to be a flat fee in the cities, right? Everyone gets paid the same, man or woman. At the headliner level, when you're headlining a show, that's up for negotiation, right? So, and I think a lot of studies have shown that women don't ask more than men do. Men ask more than women, so therefore they don't get as much. I've definitely had this one experience where I was like, wow, I had so much less than my male colleagues. So it was a show for lawyers, and I was the only lawyer comedian that they could book, right? I mean, there are very few lawyer comedians in the New York City space because lawyers make so much more money. So when they had a lawyer show, I was the only lawyer comedian they could get, and then the rest were just comedians. So as the lawyer comedian, I would be like the draw, right? The cool, oh my god, a lawyer comedian. I was about to ask for $200 for this show. It was a weekday show. We get paid $25 on the weekdays. I was like, well, 200 is a lot of money. So I was going to ask for 200, and thank God I decided to ask my male colleague who's also on that show how much he was asking. Just a comedian, not a lawyer comedian. He was asking for $2,000. So you bet your ass I asked for $2,000 and I got it. So that was like such a changing moment. I've been so under asking. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just about the level. So in comedy, there's like openers, and then there's feature pay, and then there's headliner pay. And so each show, it's like you get to a point where they keep asking you to feature, and you're like, eventually you just gotta be like, who's headlining that? And then you're like, oh, that person's not as good as me, or they're on my level. I'm like, and you have to be willing to be like, no, I won't take this money. Let me know when you're ready to headline, headline me, because it came to a point where I realized, like, if I wasn't asking to headline ever, the women that were younger than me also do not get to move up to that feature spot. So it's like, if I don't push to like be the headliner or be the top paid comic, it's just gonna push them back as well. Like the whole line stays back the less we ask for what we should be getting booked to do.
Early on, I was trying to move up from MC to feature, and he wouldn't let me up. He goes, can you do MC one more time? And I said no, and he's like, come on, Steph, it's not like I'm asking you to fuck me like all the other bookers. And then I said, I'm not doing it, and he just like wiped me off the website. So it just felt so drastic. I'm like, first of all, so don't let things like that get you down. It's nice that there's more women out there and more opportunities. And with the way social media is now, I know some people who kind of take it all in their own hands. They promote their own show, or they hire someone who's good at that, getting butts and seats for your show, what you bring. There's someone who wants to see it, and it's just finding those people and getting them there.
We don't ask for the thing, and we just accept what's given to us, and there's a lot of opportunities out there if we were more willing to ask, and we kind of do ourselves a disservice. And I'm still struggling with that personally. I'll wait to be asked for an opportunity that I know I want, that I know I deserve, that I know I could be really good at. I'll just wait and watch other people get the opportunity. It's like, well, you could have had that opportunity 2 years ago had you just opened your mouth. And by doing that, I keep myself at a lower pay grade because I never push myself forward.
2 bookers I talked to, female bookers. One booked Stephen Colbert, and the other booked one of the best clubs in New York City. And they told me women don't ask. The Stephen Colbert booker would have guys sliding her DMs saying, hey, I'm ready to be on Colbert. And she'd be like, I'll tell you when you're ready. But not a single woman had asked her, right? And the female comedian was like, the female booker was like, 2 women have asked me all year to get on my show, but hundreds of men every day. Hey, can I get a spot? Can I get a spot? So after I heard them say that, I now ask much more. And when I did an experiment, so after they told me this, I was like, let me try asking. I asked like maybe for 12 producers if I could get on their show. 11 said yes.
I also think the other thing I struggle with asking for stuff is like, I don't want people to think I'm getting it because I'm a girl or because I'm a minority. And like, that's sometimes why I'm booked, especially on Cinco de Mayo. I fucking hate it. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I know. The Chinese New Year week is always my most busy week.
I feel like if they're not booking me during Black History Month, they are doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah.
You better at least be asking me.
Yeah. And I do think that it's pretty common that, whatever a man, like especially locally in the more indie scene, like whatever the dudes are getting paid, you're probably getting paid that if you're at that level. So that part is nice. But where we get slowed down is that to get on the road and to like get that experience and get your foot in the door at clubs and to like go make those connections, that requires you to like travel with somebody, be in a hotel room, and just doing that. And so most men are at that headliner place where they can take their opener, and they're going to take another man. They're not going to, especially if they're in a relationship, they're weird about bringing females with them. And then if you're not super comfortable with them, then it's like 2 hotel rooms instead of 1. And so we just get like slowed down in that way. And I've had my own very good friends that like just be like, oh, well, I can't take you, I'm married. Like, and you're like, well, we were not gonna fuck, so I don't know what you're talking about. But even optics, they're uncomfortable with the optics of it, and so I would see like these comics who are much newer and much less seasoned and getting all this opportunity for stage time and connections just because they're a man that I would never even get invited to, and I still think that's a big issue. But then, so it was just my goal to become the headliner that could bring somebody, and then like the more female headliners there are, the more the opportunities will go to other females, it seems like. But it's hard to get that.
Oh, I had one male comment. I think learning from the men is actually pretty cool, right? When you ask them how do you deal with the money situation, and because a lot of times, especially in the earlier stages, you're expected to just perform for free. Just getting on stage is like, we're paying you. It's almost like your payment is just a stage time, right? And so I asked him how he dealt with it. Like, how do you ask whether they're paying, or you just like do the set and hope you get paid? And he goes, just always ask, because even if they weren't gonna pay, now you're putting the thought in their head that maybe you should be paid. So he was like, just always ask, is this a paid spot?
Oh my God, that took me so long I would stick around for the fucking rest of the show when I did not have to. And I was like, I just hope they pay me.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I tell my brand new students, regardless, I always say, like, because they're like so hungry for stage time, you're going to take whatever you can get. However, I do say, yes, I'd love to do your show. What's the pay? You say yes first, and then you ask the pay, because some of these bookers, if you don't ask, then they won't, but if you do, then they will. And like, they're just waiting for you to not ask and then go, oh, sorry, we didn't ever talk about it. But if you ask, they will. And Denver has a great pay culture around around comedy. So like, the less that people, like, I just make sure from the start that they're very good at withholding that, or like upholding that, because I do not want that to go away for sure. It's something that we do really well here. So it should be expected if you're being booked that you are getting something.
I don't think I'm great at asking for money, but lately, if they offer me a particular amount, I'll ask for a little bit more just to see if it exists.
I recently did that, and it worked.
Yeah, it keeps working. And then you go, shit, I should ask for more than that. But I just recently, somebody asked me to do a festival, and it's out of town, and she gave me her price up front. And I know, and I'd already done the festival, and I know sometimes there's already a budget set. When they just give you tell you the fee, it's like, this is what I budgeted. I just asked for a little bit more. Because I was like, I might have to rent a car or something. I probably have to bring my baby. So I got to rent a car. Can you find it in the budget for that? And she said, yeah, we can do that. I was just like, fuck, I should ask for more. But I was still patting myself on the back for finally getting to this place where I will ask for just a little bit more. And I'm training myself. And I think that women in our industry, especially, we have to just get the muscle going.
Yeah.
And if they want to say you can't do the show, then okay, I'll sit on my ass at home. That's fine, for free.
But what if you ask for more and they're like, no, we can't? Then how do you save face?
The way I presented it was like, I was like, okay, I understand that's the budget. Do you think you could find it in the budget to get me a little more for a rental car? Oh, I see. And I gave a specific number. I was like, can I have $300 more for a rental car?
Okay.
And she said, yeah, we can do that. So I think if she had said, ooh, we don't have 300, or I could only give you 100, I'll say, let me talk to my partner and see if we can work that out.
Got it.
I like to make him the bad guy. Let's see if we can work it out.
I'll say, sure, I can say yes for that, but if anything better comes along, I will be canceling on you.
Whoa, you play a little.
Yeah. I just have to.
You know what? We have to be okay with saying no, and we have to know that you'll still get booked. I think that's tough. Let me move on to another question that I have regarding safety. I don't know. Some of you know that Jocelyn has had, an incident happen this week that's started making us think a lot about safety. Pat, our producer, was really great about trying to make us feel safe for today's show. We really
That's
appreciate
why the security
that.
guards, by the way.
That's why the security guards are
You're
here.
wondering.
Because someone's trying to get famous over here, getting famous. But as women in comedy, there are often times where we feel unsafe. Can we just open up the conversation about that, about feeling safe on stage, being a woman and just stepping on stage and holding a microphone? Jocelyn, you can start if you want to talk about your particular incident, or if you want to talk about just in general being a woman on stage and how it feels to be outspoken on a microphone.
Well, I mean, physically on stage, never. I'm actually the safest, right? We are the safest on stage is when you walk on the street. It's when the danger starts. No, on stage, I am safer than I ever am outside of the comedy club. But that's also in large part because there is security at the New York City comedy clubs.
Yeah, I would also agree that any unsafety usually comes when I step off of stage. I don't know if I ever feel unsafe on stage. Not about being a woman, about being a disabled person. I don't know if the word is unsafe, but it's more annoyed because I feel like I have to make people feel comfortable about my body in order for them to laugh sometimes, and that has made designing a set, especially in a short period of time, is very annoying. And it's annoying that I have to make them feel safe about my disability before I can do my job. So it's more about ableism that makes me rage on stage and feel disadvantaged as a comic, just in general at times. And I also think that gender does affect that as well. If you're looking at intersectionality of stuff, because I'll watch Josh Blue. Can talk about his disability on stage, they lose their minds. When a woman talks about their disability, they go, "Oh, that's so sad," and you're just held to a different standard, the way that you talk about things, and you have to make sure they're feeling good and feeling okay before they're willing to laugh. And it's such a bigger hurdle that I've had men just say that doesn't exist, and it's no, you don't. What are you talking? No, you don't live this experience, and they'll tell you because they don't. It hasn't happened to them. It doesn't exist. So
I opened for Kathleen Madigan up in North Dakota, and then someone there hired me to do their holiday party a couple months later. So I was doing everything. I had the contract for him to sign, and I talk about dating. And after the show, they go, "Hey, Bob likes you and he wants to." So I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't want to diss Bob, but I also didn't want to be with Bob. And I didn't know how to leave, because they're like, "Why do you have to leave? You're just here, in your hotel room." So I switched my contract to have in it, I'll stay 30 minutes after the show, and then I would like someone to walk me to my car, just so that it's professional, and then I don't have to think about it. When I'm on stage, I can just do, my set, however, and then I know I'm not gonna. So you can alter the terms as you go along and learn and make it.
Yeah, I do think that over the past couple of years, I got more comfortable just asking who's on the lineup even, because a lot of people won't make a poster for a long time, and I'm just are there any perverts on it that I should avoid? So I just started asking, when I get booked, I'm who else is on the show? Because I don't want to be around someone that's going to make me uncomfortable, just to make yourself feel safe. And I do think that people, like what you were saying, Christie, that they think they have to comfort you when you talk about your disability instead of laughing at the joke you're making for them to laugh at. It's because it's just all systemic that they think women are weaker, and so then they're just "Oh, I feel bad that you're a woman," and that's really what they mean, and it's infuriating.
But physical safety, what has been happening is comedians getting death threats. I've had it. Zana Gaj, another female comedian, has it, and while every comedian I've ever talked to has been in this position, have all confirmed that it's all bark, no bite, that is still something that is a virtual threat, but it's threatening your physical safety. So I definitely know comics and female comics, I heard, get more harassed than male comics. It has been an issue.
I'm wondering about the things that we say on stage. I think to be a woman on stage is already an act of protest, in my opinion. People make a lot of assumptions as soon as you step on stage. They see your gender, they see your race, you talk about your body, and then they feel compelled to have an opinion about it. Like I wonder, like Miriam, when you're on stage, you talk about abortions, which is, you know, a really strong subject and with a lot of controversy. And, you know, the world is divided about it. Do you ever feel like you say something like that and maybe somebody tries to confront you after a show?
Yeah, and it's happened, and people have walked out and stuff, and I'm just like, well, I don't really care. I mean, that was my experience, not yours, and if you think you can make it funnier, then you should try it. I don't know. But yeah, people have like walked out on that, and I'm just like, well, maybe you're just super sensitive about it, and that's fine, and I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. I think, if anything, I don't sound like I'm actually even taking a side on my jokes, but I definitely am. I'm like pro-choice, obviously.
Just like that physical safety thing too. The thing that makes me feel the most, because you're saying we talk about our bodies or we talk about sex, and then it opens that door for them to feel like they can talk sexually to us off stage or touch us or rap like, even if they're like, I want to take they're like, can we take a picture? And then all of a sudden their arm is like around, and I just want to like throw up everywhere. That's like my least favorite. So yeah, I think that by getting on stage and talking to the microphone, sometimes people are at risk of thinking they have a right to your space and your body and whatever you talked about.
Or your personal life.
Yep. And that's probably one of the harder parts of this job as well, just because I share so much up here. It's like, this is a show, like the show's over once I step off stage, and like they don't necessarily realize that.
Puts her hood up and she's like,
Yeah.
get away from me.
Yeah.
We've had some really good advice shared up here. I now I'm imagining viewers at home, like we've got some good advice going. Jocelyn talked about asking for more money. Find out what the guys are making. You can ask for more. Stephanie, that point about, making a decision in your contract. I'm only staying for 30 minutes, and then I would like an escort. That's a fantastic idea. Do you have any other advice, like some things that you think that women in comedy should be asking for, something we can do to help ourselves?
I also do voiceover work, and I have been working on my voice when I'm asking for something too. So like, for example, I'd say, I need someone 30 minutes to escort me out of the venue and just be quiet. Whereas before I might be like, hey, you remember in the contract I had that about that or whatever? I'm trying to be more direct and then be quiet and have my voice go down at the end, which is kind of small, but it makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
I would say, do not discount the importance of networking. When I first started out, for a good 6 years, I didn't care to network. I was just focused on my craft. And then one day someone told me that this other comedian was really blowing up because she was an amazing networker. And I was like, oh, really? Interesting. I should try to start doing this thing. And it really helped take my comedy career to the next level. And now that same network is helping me deal with probably my most challenging time in comedy, right? We're talking about the incident that's been happening, that we are requiring security guards because I did a joke about Malaysia and Malaysian Airlines, and now the entire country of Malaysia is trying to get me canceled in America. Good luck. But it is quite intense, but now I have comics who are way more famous than I am, who have been canceled and have gone through like the same thing, and I can ask them for advice. So in terms of just progressing my career and being able to deal with the stuff that comes when you have a certain level of notoriety and I don't want to say celebrity, but I guess celebrity now, because I recently had my Instagram suspended. I was like, why? And the answer was for having a fake account. I was like, for impersonating a celebrity. Like, you're impersonating a celebrity. I was like, who's a celebrity? And they replied, Jocelyn Chia. I'm like, I am Jocelyn Chia. So yes, that's the advice, networking.
build a sense of community and just like find people that are weird like you, or not that you have to be weird, but just get your sense of humor so that you can grow with people and, you know, be creative. And there's so many other outlets than just stand-up for comedy that help your stand-up. So I think just delving into that, different areas of writing, not just joke.
I once got some advice at the time that hurt my feelings. I wasn't ready to receive it. Essentially, the advice was like, can you be nicer? Smile more. Because I felt like I was nice in my actions towards people. I didn't always promote how nice I was. I didn't say the nice things I was doing. But what the note was is that I wasn't appearing friendly, which as a black woman, you're like, how dare you? People have been saying that for my whole life. And initially it hurt my feelings. And then I stepped back and I decided to receive the advice and take it as someone not trying. It was a person who cared about me. And so I received it and I transformed and I was like, let me try to use this advice. Let me be more visibly nice. Let me smile more. Let me see what happens if I get a little friendlier. And it helped. It actually did. I wouldn't tell women to smile more or be nicer, but I was like, be aware of when you're trying to network. It's important. Let people know that you're a cool hang and that you're great to work with. If you're great to work with, it can't just all be on stage. Look how funny I am on stage. You've got to show that you're professional, you can be on time, you can respond to emails, you can be a good face for the company, you know how to shake hands, say hello, and show people. People need to see it. So
I hated everything you just said.
I know it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good, but it's advice that I witnessed the change in my career when I made that change to my personality. It was like, you are a brand as an artist and as a performer, and you can't just show it on stage. You have to. So you can continue to let these other people who are less talented get ahead of you because they're so fucking nice. We're going to get out of here. You've been so awesome. What we're going to do to close out is I'm going to get your social media handles or whatever you want to give out.
I've been canceled, so.
And let's just get people supporting women right now. Let's put our money where our mouth. All right.
I haven't said it. So, my Instagram is Catholic Guilt, one word. So you guys can follow that. I put
Don't
up
feel
a lot
embarrassed about pulling out your phones right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it
Catholic
so I can see
Guilt.
you do it.
Miriam Moreno.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My YouTube is Jocelyn Chia Comedy. I think my TikTok is the same too. And I'm starting a Patreon, Jocelyn Chia.
All right.
Thank
Jocelyn
you.
Chia.
I'm on Instagram at Steph Comedy.
Stephanie McHugh.
The joke mentor on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Yep.
Nice. Christie Buchele. Thank you so much. My Instagram is Negative Negro. It's not racist if you spell it right. Negative Negro and Janae Burris on Facebook. You can find me there. Thank you for joining us for Of the Comics. This was 70 cents on the dollar. Thank you for supporting women in comedy. Have a good night.
Yeah.